my name's Mona and I'm at Harlequin Beads and Jewelry today, and I'd like to show you how to make a wire twisted hook and eye clasp. People come into the bead store all the time and want to know how to make these. They're really easy to use and they're great for people who have any mobility issues. So let's get started. First thing I'm going to do is start with a 6-inch piece of wire. You want to make sure that you use about a gauge, usually a gauge heavier than what you're working with. So I'm going to use 20 gauge. If I was using a necklace that was 24 gauge, I'd probably want to make my clasp a 22 gauge. You wouldn't want to go any smaller than 22 gauge because then your clasp would be kind of weak. So the first thing you're going to do is you're going to take your chain nose pliers and you're going to turn down a piece of wire. I'm going to turn down about 1.25 inches and go ahead and compress this wire flat. So at this point you can assess how long your clasp is going to be. Your clasp is going to be about half of what this is. If I wanted to make a shorter clasp, I could go ahead at this point and clip back and decide that my clasp was going to be a daintier clasp. Once you've chosen how long your end clasp is going to be, taking your chain nose, you're going to put them right on top of your cut piece and bend your wire down. You're going to want the cut piece to be the same length as your 90-degree angle, if not a little bit taller. Set down your chain nose and pick up your round nose pliers. And you're going to make a loop by going up and over the top of your tool, stopping when you hit parallel. Take your tool out of your loop, put it back on so that you're on the lower part, and come across the bottom. At this point, you want to make sure that your loop is centered on both of these two pieces of wire. So you're going to make sure you're fully inserted into the loop and roll it into the visual center, and then readjust that piece of wire to the working, into the middle. There you go. That's about centered. Next, you're going to switch hands so that you get a good grip on your loop in between your round nose pliers. Picking up your chain nose pliers, you're going to be wrapping both pieces of wire up. And make sure that it's nice and snug. I go 2 to 3 times around. Clip. And then you should have this. Then take your round nose pliers and plant them directly in the middle between these 2 points and fold in half. Then I like to take my needle nose and give a pinch, over pinch, give a little pinch. Make sure everything's nice and straight. And then make a little tang so it's easy to pick up and close. And there you have the hook. So now we're going to make the eye, or the other end to the hook. I've made a wire twisted loop. If you don't know how to make one, you can refer to the video in the video section on our website, how to make a wire twisted loop. So I made one. And I'm going to put a bead on. You would use a bead that corresponds with your project. And then we're going to make a wire twisted loop on the other side of the bead. I'm going to pick up my chain nose pliers and put the very tip up against my bead and make a 90-degree angle. Set down my chain nose going to make this loop much larger so it's easy to put my hook into. Making my circle, making it centered as possible. Make sure everything is going in a 90-degree angle. And go ahead and wrap. Till you get to the bead. Clip. Make sure there's no pokey ends. Everything's going nice and straight. And there you go. A hook and eye clasp.